YouTube? What's good? It's your boy Spice Glory back in the building for another podcast, episode 74 of the No News Just Facts podcast. We are back up in here. So happy to be back up in here for another one of these, man. I always love being able to do these podcasts, man. It's because it inspires me a lot when I do these, you know. Sometimes I take my time to really talk about other issues besides things of the nature that have to do with popular culture, of course. And, you know, in this opening, I really want to make it important that following your dream and chasing what is yours, it's possible. It's possible to become what you want to become. You just got to stay consistent and never break your faith or your hope for anybody. In this moment in time, I'm having challenges. And it's not even really like challenges. It's more like the thing to just be patient. You know, I think, you know, if you're somebody who believes in God or believes in anything spiritual, or even if you don't believe in anything at all, one thing we all have in common is that we are holding on our hope in things that we want. And I feel as though whatever you're reaching for, whatever you think belongs to you, and whatever you say and declare with your tongue, your mouth, and your teeth, it's possible for you to get it. It's yours. And I'm saying that to say there's somebody out there who right now, while you're just playing around with whatever it is you actually want to be, they are sacrificing and devoting time to their craft. Think about basketball players, football players, track athletes. They spend days, nights, hours, seconds, milliseconds perfecting their craft because they want to be the best. None of these people are okay with second best, third best, fourth best, fifth best. They all want to become the best and be better than they were when they first figured out that they wanted this thing that they saw on television or read about or just found randomly. And I feel like anybody who's listening to this podcast or watching this podcast will agree with me that we all have something that we're chasing, and we all belong in these spaces, in these boardrooms. You deserve to live that life, bro. Stop playing with it. It's somebody right now who is streaming. They're on a 24-hour stream, and they don't know what the outside world looks like. They have turned off their phone. They have turned off every app they have, and they're trying to perfect their craft as a streamer. Maybe they might not be the best streamer or XQC or Aiden Ross or any of those guys, but they are perfecting their craft and going every single day because they want to be the best, even if they don't become the best. But they're doing it all to seek that validation because they know in their hearts and in their brains that that's where they want to be. Same thing with sports. Same thing with movies, actors, producers, directors. And even in podcasting, I feel like at this moment in time in the genre of podcasting, sometimes this is my own opinion on podcasting. Podcasting has its high points. It definitely has its low points. It has its points where they're just random people just saying whatever. They're just saying whatever because they want the viral fixation. When they just should just sell their microphone, sell their laptop because it's not for them. Let me use myself as an example. I've been wanting to be a podcaster since 2015, since I first heard podcasting, since I even knew what that was. There was a point in time in my life where I would do a radio show and it would end up on YouTube. That YouTube that I used to have back when I was a child doesn't exist anymore, but those were the early workings of me trying to do a podcast. And it was only in 2015 when I figured out, dang, you can actually get on a microphone and just talk for hours upon hours at a time. And people who are interested in your opinion will actually listen to you. Don't get me wrong. I knew about like AM talk radio, which is really what podcasting is, but I didn't know that like it could be this big. Just imagine if I would have started podcasting in 2015 after hearing Joe Budden with his I'll name this podcast later, which later would become the Joe Budden podcast. I listened to that a couple of times and I was like, wow, this is so interesting. He's doing all of this and he's just sitting in a room with his friends and he's enjoying it. It doesn't feel like a job. It's just, he's just talking. Like they're having debates, you know, they're just doing stuff that people who are friends with each other would talk about. Like if I'm in the room with my homies, my brothers, and we just sit in the room and start talking about whatever, women, you know, women, sports, so on and so forth. It's like, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like in that setting, except, you know, a lot of people do their podcast by themselves, just like I'm doing my podcast by myself, because I think that people who do podcasts by themselves legitimately talk to themselves. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I'm going to tell you the truth. I talk to myself. That's why I'm so comfortable with being able to get on this microphone and just talk and talk and talk and talk. It's because I talk to myself. And if I'm comfortable with talking to myself, y'all might think I'm crazy saying that. If I'm comfortable with talking to myself, then I can be comfortable doing this podcast here without even missing a turn or anything. That just means that it's destined for me to continue doing it. Whether anybody gets it right now, that's fine. But later on, when I'm up, they'll get it. They'll understand. But I say all of that to say, push through. Don't give up. Don't stop. Because the only person that controls your destiny is you. You're the one who writes the chapter. Don't stop. So first thing I want to get into, if I can, let me find it real quick before I even put it up on screen. First thing we're going to talk about, let me see. It's so many things that have happened that it's like, I don't even know what to go into first. Let me see here. Let me find it before I start to talk about it. Let me see. Let me see. Y'all give me a second here. Oh, okay. I mean, honestly, I don't feel like there's any point of me talking about the zero and tray thing because I've already done videos on it. Let me see. I think I should just start off with some positive news. So first and foremost, let me pull it up here. So first and foremost, this would be some positive news, I believe. So let me see this. I'll just read it and then I'll talk about it. All right, so Bank of America is basically launching a program for Blacks and Hispanics who are first-time home owners that includes zero down mortgages. The initiative is to help grow home ownership among Black and Hispanic and Latino communities. Residents living in specific neighborhoods in Charlotte, Dallas, Detroit, Los Angeles, and Miami will be the first to have an opportunity to take advantage. So I'm not entirely sure if, hold on. I'm not entirely sure if this, obviously this isn't a bad thing, but I'm just going to look for more information on it. But I mean, as far as I can tell you, I feel like it's a good initiative, and it's targeting the Hispanics, Latino, the Latinx community and the Black communities, Let me see here. Bank of America. And then, while I'm looking for this, didn't Bank of America have like a scandal a few years ago? Something with like something that had to do with like their database being hacked or something like that. I can't remember. Let's look this up. All right. I'm just going to use this as a good editorial for this. All right. So it says Bank of America is launching a new mortgage product that would allow first-time home buyers to purchase a home without zero payment, no mortgage insurance, and zero closing costs in an effort to close the racial homeownership gap. That's going back to redlining because they know about redlining. All these banks know about redlining and have let it go on. For as long as they've let it go on, right? So now basically, it sounds like some pity in a sort of way to me. But like it's a little bit of pity. It's like, yeah, we know redlining has been a thing for decades and centuries and years and all that. So you know what? We're gonna throw you guys a bone. In an effort to close the racial home ownership gap, the Community Affordable Loan Solution will launch in markets with predominantly Black and Hispanic neighborhoods, including Charlotte, Dallas, Detroit, Los Angeles, and Miami, and may later expand to other cities. It will not require a minimum credit score and will instead consider other factors for eligibility. Is Bank of America's new zero down mortgage worth it? Home buying is a notoriously expensive process and has gotten even more costly as property values have increased over the years. When you consider a modest 5% down payment, lender fees, which can run up to 1% of the home values, and closing costs, which can be high as 6% of the loan's value, buyers can pay close to $46,800 upfront for a $400,000 home. This still excludes other charges like the underwriting fee, title check, home inspection, and appraisal fees. Offering a loan that doesn't require down payment, mortgage, insurance, or closing costs could lower the barrier to entry for home ownership. And when you spend less money on down payments and closing costs, you can reserve more of your savings for paying for serious home repairs that need to be taken care of, or emergency expenses that could arise as soon as you move in. Just keep in mind though, that making no payment means that your home loan will cover the entire value of the property, which probably means you have to pay it back, obviously. Your monthly payments could be higher, and they'd be if you paid a little upfront. You'll need to work with a financial planner or mortgage lender to make sure that the monthly payments will fit into your budget. Now, as I stated, redlining, if you don't know what redlining is, I'm gonna give you the definition of redlining, right? Let's just give the definition, or what is redlining. So, redlining is a discriminatory practice in which services, financial and otherwise, are withheld from potential customers who arise in neighborhoods classified as hazardous to investment. These neighborhoods have significant numbers of racial and ethnic minorities and low-income residents. In other words, people, it's always gonna, what, you know what, hold on. Let me finish reading. Hold on. While the most well-known examples involve denial of credit and insurance, also sometimes attributed to redlining in many existences are denial of healthcare and the development of food deserts in minority neighborhoods. In the case of retail businesses like supermarkets, the purposeful construction of stores and practically far away from targeted residents, resulting in redlining effect. So in general, let's just be honest. You'll never find a Whole Foods on Bissonnette, but you will find a Whole Foods in Pearland. You won't find a Timmy Chan's somewhere like what's a rich neighborhood here in Houston? You won't find a Timmy Chan's in the name of the richest area, the area where Joel Osteen's church is. You'll never see a Timmy Chan's over there. You get where I'm going with this? You won't find a Timmy Chan's in that area. You won't find a Whole Foods somewhere like Bissonnette or Acres Homes or any of those, predominantly black areas. If it says MLK, there ain't gonna be any type of healthy type of restaurants around, or healthy food stores, or anything like that, or places where you can get vitamins or anything like that. Why? Because that's redlining. So with this, as I stated before, wasn't there something like this back in the day? Wasn't that the reason why something had happened with there being a market crash in 2008? Because wasn't it in 2001 people were throwing their houses on the market for sale and stuff? Like a bunch of people were selling their houses and things like that, and so on and so forth, and other things were happening in 2001. I believe 2001 was a crash. There was a crash in 2001 as well, I believe. I'm not sure, but I think there was, or that was the overflow of money. The overflow of money in 2001 caused the crash of 2008. And then we're not even factoring in that there was a hurricane in 2000. I believe Katrina was was it 04, 05 or something like that. So you mix that in with that, mix that all in together, and you have the crash of 2008, which is around the time Obama became president. We might be looking at another crash coming, maybe. That I believe that's probably what they're trying to tell us with this, maybe. Who knows? But hey, I mean, it's still, I still look at it as a positive, even though there might be some something on the back burner that may come with this. The beauty of people who are prodigies or people who are called geniuses or self-proclaimed geniuses is that the same thing that pulls you up and brings you up on a high horse is the same thing that throws you down and makes you live in a nightmare of obsession. And the reason why I speak of this genius characteristic is because we're here to talk about Kanye West. Kanye West is yet again in the news for just basically going on his rants as he usually does. I've stopped proclaiming to think that Kanye West is crazy. I just think there are moments, whether he's bipolar or not, where he just has to get things out. You know, all of us have a way we get things out. It doesn't have to be verbally, but everybody has their way of getting things out. So the clip I'm about to look at right now is Kanye West is basically going off on Gap executives. He's in a feud right now with Gap, Adidas, Travis Scott, Kid Cudi. He is at war with a lot of people. He's at war with a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. So this is going to be the first thing I'm going to look at that has to do with his war with one of his ops. Let me turn off this music real quick. We're just going to look.
This is Sparta. This is not celebrity marketing. This is not a collaboration. This is a life mission. I didn't understand why I love Louis until I learned about Marc Jacobs. I didn't understand why I love Gucci until I learned about Tom Ford. I didn't understand why I love Ralph Lauren. This is Sparta. This is not celebrity marketing. This is not a collaboration. This is a life mission. I didn't understand why I love Louis until I learned about Marc Jacobs. I didn't understand why I love Gucci until I learned about Tom Ford. I didn't understand why I love Ralph Lauren until I learned about Ralph Lipschitz. I didn't understand why I love Yak until I learned about Mickey. Me and Matt George brought season 6 and showed Mickey, and he grabbed the stuff and his response was, oh, it's too good. So I'm now going with please, Terry Flag, this, that, something that can hit that Old Navy price with the cut. And we go and we do TV commercials. And we open up that store, we look at those stores, and we go through those racks and look at that product, whatever, and put that other shit in the outlet. And put they shit in the front throughout every single Gap store. And let's go take the JCPenney stores while we're at it. Re-envision it, fully foam, bouncy floor. The kids are putting on the hoodies and these beautiful washed, like vintage beach colors with the doves in the back, and just take over the globe. You gotta have the strongest team possible. We will hire the best fabric. We will get cotton. We will order deep. We will empower. We will make a new workforce straight from the schools and reinvigorate the American industry. This country is based off the industry, and with us collectively, we all have a responsibility to bring it back. And I know we felt the Spurs felt like we couldn't do it. Different people, we can do it with this team. Not even can. Because people say yes, we can. If they really, I don't know. We will. We got to be the highest energy brand in the mall. Who's got the most energy in the mall? Apple. Respectfully, he's passed away. He's passed away, so he's not going to be able to draw this attention. No one goes to those seas. I don't know the last time they launched anything. I don't know what it looks like. Is that interesting? When I slept in the stadium, we were selling $7 million in merch a night. And this is us capped at 50,000 seats when we could have went to 75,000 seats. People are going to look. People's eyeballs are going to go past Shining Daddy and all of that. They're going to look, they're going to see, we're going to provide something consistently right there in the communities. By having a collaboration with some black bands that my family shows up to, and then, you know, kids are buying, you know, Gap from, you know, thrift stores, is not going to save the Gap. It's not enough. It's not enough. And I love Gap. I gotta give you guys, here's the third one, here we go. You'd have to really give me the position to yay and do what I'm thinking, or I'm gonna have to do what I'm thinking somewhere else. Because one thing I learned from Virgil, if something's killing you, it's actually killing you. We canceled the pre-order of the blue jacket. That's insane. I got 3 million emails over from Adidas, and we didn't use them. That's insane. That's insane. We sold 14 million hoodies at $80 with no logo on it off of one commercial and never ran the commercial again. That's insane. Pierre Rouget, we only win 1 sample set on a Balenciaga collection. I'm sitting next to Anna Winter and Cedric watching an Adidas Balenciaga collaboration I knew nothing about. That's insane. We never did a fashion show. That's insane. When we were on the phone with David Simon and Leo said we did 50 stores, he said that's bullshit. He never cursed again. He said we went to play Mama playing tricks on me. And I called Jay Prince to have Scarface perform with him. But when he said 50 stores for Ye, David Simon said, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. It's like,
Can I please do it?
You don't have a family with her. Why the f is you with her?
I'm good. I'm so done. There's nothing that you can say. Nothing. Nothing.
The whole point of me taking you out shopping, the whole point of me planning this period to show you my type of life, what I want you to be a part of. That's the whole point of
this Brady Bunch? Are you serious? I'm good on you.
I want to be with you.
I'm good on you.
You still want to be with her.
I'm good. Go ahead.
Danny.
No.
Do this
Why?
right now.
This is your thought. You supposed to have family with this. What the f you know what this don't mean?
Y'all tell y'all definitely I'm with. I'm trying to get out.
No, not a part of our family.
That kind of stupid, and they gonna sit there and do that. That's stupid. So stupid.
Come on, man. Why y'all entertaining this?
Because they not welcome entertaining it.
This is ridiculous.
I understand.
Like, I cannot believe. And then he gonna sit there and he gonna argue with them. Like, this is stupid.
We not give you enough. And then you like black bitches. And then a black bitch to top.
What is y'all on, bro? Like calling her a black bitch? Like, bro, the disrespect. Like, what? I don't even get this right here. This is crazy, bro. Like, they out their motherfucking mind. It's like you got like 2 of the most. I'm not gonna say. Listen, and this is the truth right here. There are some racist ass Latino people. I ain't even gonna sit here and cap. There's definitely some racist Caucasian people. This black man managed to get 2 of the races possibly that hate black people the most to come together and have babies with them and be in a relationship with both of them. Shit's crazy. You can't make this up, man. Can't make this shit up, bro. I ain't even gonna cat. You can't really make shit up, bro. For real.
Off with the attitude and a damn mouth. Like every other black bitch. What the
Can I please?
No. You went and got one with an attitude and a mouth on her just like every other black bitch? Like, dog. I want to know, like, what these women that's supposed to be your baby mamas got that's making you stay with them and making you like sit up there and like disrespect your own race like that? You okay? Like, bro, you okay with these women and the way they talk? Like you okay with how they talk and you got kids with them, bro? What's up, bro? What's up, man? You working for you an agent working for the other team or something like that, my boy? Cause this ain't it. This ain't it, champ. This ain't it. And this is on live TV, bro. Like tripping, my G. Like they they tripping. For real. They got it twisted.
You don't have a family with her. Why the f did you with her?
I'm good. I'm so done. There's nothing that you can say. Nothing.
The whole point of me taking you out shopping, the whole point of me planning this period to show you my type of life, what I want you to be a part of. That's the whole point of me feeling.
Brady Bunch? Are you serious? I'm good on you.
I want to be with you.
I'm good on you.
You still want to be with her.
I'm good. Go ahead.
Danny.
No.
And this whole thing look crazy, bro. Whole thing is crazy, dog. I ain't even gonna cap. Is this supposed to be like cheaters or something like that? Regardless whether it is or not, this is just a very bad look. Hopefully they don't have an Instagram or Twitter or something like that, because I know it's gonna be black women all through that comment section like, I can't believe you, da 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 da, with your goofy ass, da 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 da, and tell that Hispanic girl I'll beat her ass. Tell that white girl it's up for her when we see her, bro. Nah, this whole thing crazy, bro. That the black girl might even get a little slander too. Like, I can't, like, they'll probably get on her head top too and be in her comment section talking about, why the fuck would you even go on that? Why the fuck would you even go out with that nigga? Or why was you with that goofy ass nigga? You stupid for even entertaining that nigga. Da 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 da. Like, bruh, it's too many scenarios I could like put together in my head when I think about like this. There's too many scenarios that I put together in my head because like this is the internet. This shit be happening, dog. Like, for real, it be happening whether you wanted to or not, bro. Like, crazy, dog. Like, unless it's like a thing where like he grew up around like nothing but Hispanic and white people, I don't see why he would allow these two women to even be that disrespectful. It's like, don't y'all got kids? Don't he got kids with both these women? And I'm sure they, like, your kid is gonna be like, lady, the Hispanic Latino lady, like, your child is half black. White girl, come on now, your child is half black. So it's like your family, I'm sure the white girl, her family don't even approve of her dating black dudes in the first place anyway. Daddy probably would shoot him if he ever saw it. It's Hispanic families too. Hispanic girl too. I'm sure if mama saw you with a black dude, she'll be like, what are you doing with that Negro? Like, you know? So it's like, at the end of the day, y'all both got black kids by a nigga. So it's like all that talking y'all doing is all you know, that's all funny and kiki and kaka, but like at the end of the day, the reality is y'all got black in y'all bloodline now. So, you know, you're gonna have to live with that. Your family gonna have to live with, both of y'all families is gonna have to live with that. And Buddy is crazy too. Like, honestly, we would have had to fight on camera if I was in that situation and I ever heard somebody who I'm involved with or have children with talking like that in front of me. We would have had to scrap. I'm sorry. I don't believe in men hitting women, but I'll pinch the hell out of you if you say some shit like that in front of me. You out your ragged ass mind. We probably would have had to throw down, no lie. I pinch the hell out of you. I rip your hair out or something, cause yeah, crazy. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we might as well get to the meat and potatoes of this podcast and just start talking about it real quick. So as you remember on my last podcast, I was talking about Aries Spears and how he made comments towards Lizzo that had to do with her weight and everything like that. So the internet, like the internet does, did its detective work and found a video. And it wasn't even just a video. The people in the party that was part of the video is suing Aries Spears and Tiffany Haddish as well. So let me just read the story. I'm not even gonna play the video. I'm not going to do it because it's first of all, it's not safe for work, and it's definitely not safe to play. I don't think it's safe to play on YouTube, even though it's like just like a it's supposed to be like a comedy sketch, but that, I ain't gonna lie, I've watched it and it's sick. It's disgusting. It's sick. It's not something you should. It's nasty. It looks very nasty. All right, so what it says is comedians Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears have been accused of exploiting and sexually abusing two minors, according to the Daily Beast. In a September 1st report based on documents from a civil lawsuit and interviews with the plaintiffs, the outlet says Haddish encouraged her friends' children, going by pseudonyms, Jane and John Doe, to maintain their autonomy to participate in explicit sketches, one of which apparently wound up on the website of Funny or Die. Jane and John were respectively 14 and 7 at the time, now 22 and 15. They claim intense, lingering, emotional, and psychological distress from the skits. Their lawsuit accuses both comedians of sexually abusing, battering, harassing a minor, along with the intentional infliction of emotional distress and gross negligence. It separately accuses Haddish of negligent supervision, failure to warn, breach of fiduciary duty, and constructive fraud, according to the Daily Beast. Jane and John Doe alleged that Haddish pushed them to make uncomfortable and inappropriate content. Per the Daily Beast, Haddish and the plaintiff mother met through comedy and bonded over their divorces. Messy divorces, she told the outlet. We just really got super close. That would have been sometime before 2013, when the lawsuit claims Haddish spoke at a then 14-year-old Jane's camp and offered her a perfect role starring in a commercial to be produced by Haddish and Spears. This allegedly involved Jane moaning and making S noises while she simulated fellatio on a sub sandwich at the adult comedian's request. Hey. Through Jane, though Jane says she tried to do what they asked, she allegedly felt feeling physically, emotionally, and mentally uncomfortable. And as if she hadn't really delivered on the assignment, she says she didn't tell her mom or anybody else about how weird I felt at that moment. But then a year later, Haddish allegedly approached her friend again about filming a project for John, which turned out to be a sketch titled The Mind of a P-Word. Not gonna say that. Both appeared in the clip, but Spears played the eponymous P-Word. He reportedly massaged baby oil into the baby's bare shoulders. John spends most of the video clad only in his underwear, as Spears' character leers at him, per the Daily Beast, and climbed into a bathtub with him. John says he left the shoot distraught, allegedly with Haddish yelling at him for his failure to cooperate. I had to kick and scream and cry, and Tiffany came and told me to let him touch me. Wow, this is very reading this is great. Reading this is just as just as nasty reading it as it is watching the video, the skits that I watched. Like it's very hard. It's very hard to read this. Very hard to read this just as much as like it was very hard to watch the video. John reportedly wrote while in therapy in a statement attached to the lawsuit responding to the Daily Beast's report. One of your dad called the video absolutely disgusting and said it was uploaded to the site as user-generated content before being taken down in 2018, presumably after Bossip resurfaced some tasteless skits by as I was saying, Tiffany Haddish and Ari Spears relating to the thing that they're being sued for. It's all off the pretty much it's all off of it's all off of the strength of somebody making a joke. And obviously comedy is at the forefront of being like basically grabbed by its balls and nuts and being told what to do. Even though comedy is supposed to be a art form, and you know, I've said this in the past and I'll say it again, that comedy is not supposed to, it's supposed to make the uncomfortable comfortable. Some comedians tell jokes that I hate, I don't like, but it's used as a narrative point to poke fun at the world and all of its problems. Comedy is used to poke fun at problems people have in their life, marital problems, problems with your children, so on and so forth, world problems. Comedy is supposed to be something instilled as a distraction to make you say, yeah, you know, things are messed up right now, this, that, and the third, but hey, let's use this time to laugh about it, you know? Do I think comedy is goes a little overboard at times? The only thing comedy is guilty of in 2022 is being able to be used as a pincushion for all of the soft underbelly sensitive human beings that have grown through from yesteryear or the past decade into this new modern time, and are able to just voice their opinion and make everything so sensitive. Like it's affected comedy, it's affected rap. Matter of fact, it's affected different genres of art. I'm not saying that every single thing that comes out in comedy is good, but you know, there's a reason for everything. And freedom of speech is just at the bottom of a trash can, being like replaced with like this bag over it and not allowed to come out. So it's almost as though freedom of speech doesn't exist at all anymore, or until, you know, somebody latches on into saying something other than what the narrative has been placed upon. What the narrative has basically, when somebody changes the narrative and does something different and says something different, it immediately gets attacked because we're supposed to stay in this box that the system has made for us and not say anything different. I'm not saying like I said, I'm not saying every single thing that comes up is right, but I mean, if y'all allowed DJT to be president and say whatever he wanted to say, how is it that people who aren't part of any agenda or anything like that how are they not allowed to say what they want? You're quieting one side to allow the other side to live. How does that work? Doesn't make any sense. So at the end of this all, really, all of this pretty much just came up because Ari Spears made a joke about Lizzo's weight, which is weird because, as I stated, Lizzo has literally publicly gone on record and basically there are countless videos of her talking about her weight and working out and eating right. So I don't even know where that came from, but you have to remember, he's a comedian telling a joke. It's not like, I'm wondering if a comedian who is part of the system's agenda said any type of joke that had to do with weight about Lizzo, would that person be attacked the same way Ari Spears is being attacked? That lets you know if Lizzo ever messes up, they're gonna come for her too. Y'all think just right now, just because she's in the mainstream, just because she's like in the mainstream, she's safe? I feel like if she messes up and does something wrong or says something wrong, they're gonna turn on her. That's the way it goes, right? I hate to make it about race or anything like that, but I feel like if it was a white comedian saying that, you know, let's just say Amy Schumer or even Lisa Lampanelli, right, making a joke about Lizzo being fat, I don't think this would even be stretching out the way it is right now. Now, I'm not saying that to say that what Ari Spears went and did with the skit with the little children and Tiffany Haddish also being involved, I'm not saying that's right. That was not right at all. And honestly, he and Tiffany Haddish should take accountability, which I believe Tiffany Haddish has just said, I really wish at that point in my career I wouldn't have done it. And I believe this is also while she wasn't like a movie star, she wasn't that big. She was just a comedian. Of course, I remember in that time period, she was like driving off the wave of like, you know, working with Cat Williams and being on his tour and that whole thing being successful. So I'm just hoping for, you know, for at least her sake, her learning from this and just being able to go and, you know, just be better. I mean, and I feel like I had found a video of her also. I think the reason why they're attacking her, because as I said, you know, it just feels kind of random that she's getting attacked. There's something that has to do with like a company that she has or whatever, and I believe like Google wanted to buy it or something like that, and she said no. And it's supposed to be like some type of program that's supposed to be, you know, anything that has to do with positivity for Black people, you know, whether it's making money or teaching them ways to do things differently. You know, the ones at the top will find a way to just destroy it in any way possible by, you know, whether it be attacking the person who is at the head of it in any way possible, shape, or form, or whatever. So I feel like, because she was on the Corey Holcomb show, his podcast, and she was talking about a company that she had, and she said, you know, she is basically learning and teaching and you know, making a better way and positive outlook for, you know, not just Black Americans, Africans, you know, people that look like me. Yeah. And she said something about how Google was trying to purchase it from her, and she said no. And I believe that's probably why she's getting attacked. So hopefully she can learn from this and move forward and just continue doing whatever it is she's doing positively to impact change for people of color. And Ari Spears, I don't know, bro. This might be the nail in the coffin. I don't know. I'm not saying he's not a nobody. I'm not saying he's a nobody, but I mean at the same time he's still a human being. But as a comedian, I feel like for the moment he's kind of like, he should just like lay low, because this don't look good for you publicly. It doesn't look good at all. So that's what I think, man. All right, so here's another thing I can speak about. Things are getting weird, bro. So, Bed Bath & Beyond CFO jumps to his death. All right, so Bed Bath & Beyond CFO jumps to his demise from NYC skyscraper following mass layoffs. It says he leaped to his demise and was accused of a pump and dump scheme to inflate the company's stock value. So basically, before he could even be prosecuted or brought up on charges, he unalived himself. And then even more than that, it says a Bed Bath & Beyond exec was facing a $1.2 billion pump and dump stock fraud suit when he apparently leaped to his demise from his swank 18th floor apartment in Lower Manhattan last week. Gustavo Arnal, who is the chief financial officer, BBB, is among the defendants named in a class action suit that accuses him, Tui.com founder Ryan Cohen, and others of artificially inflating the troubled housewares giant's share price. The class action complaint filed August 23rd in Washington, D.C. federal court alleges that the scheme also involved a classic attempt to spark a gambling. That tactic relies on the purchase of stock options and was employed during last year's GameStop stock trading frenzy, according to Motley Fool. Cohen's lucrative 56% gain came about 7 months after he invested in a Better Business Bureau. Well, I mean, my man said he not about to face the music. He said, "I'm going down, and y'all not gonna get the chance to bring me up on charges to lock me up." So he went out the, so to speak, the Epstein way, except, well, I mean, honestly, you could say somebody kind of forced him up on that roof, but I mean, we have no way of knowing. But, you know, it's just a classic case of your millionaire who's committing fraudulence in silence, and nobody knows about it until they want us to know about it, pretty much. it's just left. There's an empty void that needs to be filled, and dude, it would be mysterious if the Chewy.com founder miraculously did something of the sort in the same vein, and now nobody's being brought up on charges, and millionaires and billionaires are getting away with frauding and doing things they're not supposed to do, but can get away with because they have enough money to do it and keep it out of the news to where nobody knows about it, whether it be on the internet or actual news syndication or newspaper publication. So in that vein, I can't say that I'm surprised by this at all. What does that mean for all those people who have been laid off from Bed Bath & Beyond? You know? I don't know. But here we are, right? The world is continuing to be strange. The world is things are just continuously happening. In this present moment in time, all you have to do is keep your eyes open. Be aware of your surroundings and just focus on becoming a better you. You know? With that, I will bid you guys adieu. I will come back for the next installment of the No News Just Facts podcast. Y'all have a great night. Have a great morning. Have a great wherever you are or whatever you're doing. Make sure you do it to the full best of your ability. And I'm out.